WesWes Show.
All right, boys. Let's look forward. Origin 3. Origin 3.
This is where my internet starts playing up when I start logging off a little bit.
Let's not call this a dead rubber. Let's call this the rebuild. Let's go to you Blues boys first. What are some of the major changes, if there are any changes? Your thoughts? Go to you, Tama.
Are you right, Deals?
Man, I give you a week. I give you a week to get over it. At least.
Let's talk about two, so Tama can vent.
I would pick no Panthers. I would let the Panthers just play club. That's just
the premiership.
selfish Panthers fan. But I think they'll pick the usuals. I think all the Panthers will get another go round. They'll give Luai another run.
You guys need to win this game, so I want you to pick who you think we should go in there, man.
Let's start with number one. Number one.
I would pick Edwards. I would pick Edwards or Gutherson.
Oh, wow.
I would get rid of Teddy. I'm not his biggest fan at all. I feel like he got in the way of Cleary in the first game a lot of times. He still thinks it's 2017 where he's gonna make something happen on every play, and just as they're building, he comes in and takes a run, and he does a lot of work, but I think he gets in the way of some of the other people. I'd actually take even Drinkwater. I would take Drinkwater, Gutherson, or Edwards.
Drinkwater's the better on the attack.
I actually would take Drinkwater. If Cleary's not there, I would take Drinkwater. If Cleary was there, I would have taken Edwards. But I think Drinkwater or Gutho should get a run. I think Teddy, he had a good career. He had a fantastic Origin career. Few wins.
But you're blaming Teddy. Are you blaming Teddy for game 1 and 2?
No, I'm not.
If you're dropping your captain, mate. If
we're looking to the future, I'll drop him. He's not the same.
Only 30. He's not like, over the hill.
What do you reckon, Stace? Was it Teddy's fault?
No. I know a lot of people been calling for Tedesco to be dropped, but I'm not convinced. If you look at Queensland and what they did and how they won the series, I thought Slater did a really good job in bringing some of the younger guys through, and players like Taulangi and Hammer and Nanai and Futuika and these guys, instead of picking the old war horses, Dane Gagai and Kofusi and Welch. But the experienced players he did keep were Ben Hunt, Munster, Cherry Evans, the spine guys. So you need the guys in the middle, the spine, to do the carry the direction and all the rest of it. So I'll do something
put those guys on form. Before one, I don't think Teddy was your best fullback.
I don't think he was top 3.
I'm all for making changes and freshening up the squad, but you got to have some leadership and some experience in there. And Teddy is the captain. He's only 30, which I said before, so he's still got a few more years left in. And you can continue to build younger guys around him. So the only way I'm dropping Tedesco is if they completely overhaul the style of fullback they want and opt for more ball playing at the back. So, I know Reece Walsh, he had the most try assists across the series so far, and he was up there for line break assists as well. So if New South Wales opt for more ball playing at fullback, then I would make the changes for someone like Drinkwater. Yeah. I know there's been calls for Edwards and even like Gutherson and all the rest of it, but to me, they're similar to Teddy in the way they play. They're good support players, strong on carrying the kick returns, high run meters, big effort guys. And if you're just going to pick someone who's going to play that sort of style, you might as well stick it out with Teddy. At least you're going to get his experience and, his leadership on top of all that other stuff. So I would only be making a change if I was going to change stylistically the fullback that you want to play. And that's either Tedesco or Drinkwater. Those are the only two fullbacks I'm looking at. If you're changing the style, otherwise you stick with the experience.
Do you think Sam Cane should be the All Blacks captain?
Sam Cane? No.
Yeah. Well, then there's your answer. Tedesco. They're in the same situation.
Sam Cane doesn't play in a decision-making position.
I
He's
think
like a
Sam.
peripheral guy. So I'd drop someone like, say, Frizzell, for instance, who's over the hill.
So you're
I'll
going to
drop those other
carry
guys.
Tedesco
Let's say
because
if
you
the
want his captaincy, but you don't think
Yeah,
he's the best player in the team.
I didn't.
I
He's
want
not.
him to. I like his captaincy and his experience, and he's done it before at Origin level. So I'd only change him out if you're going to pick a different style of fullback. But if you're going to pick a fullback who brings the same attributes like Edwards and all these other guys, then it's not enough to pick the same type of guy but lose his experience. I'd rather keep his experience in and keep him on, or change the style of a fullback. So it's either Tedesco or you change the fullback style and you go for Drinkwater. But I'm not picking someone like Dylan Edwards, for instance, who I know has been knocking on the door because he brings the same thing that Tedesco brings, just without the experience and without the leadership. So it's those external things that you can't really calculate that Tedesco brings on top, which to me is the reason why I'd either hold him or go Drinkwater.
Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just not a Tedesco fan.
I know. And I actually love the guy. He's one of my all-time favourite New South Wales guys. So it's hard for me to drop it, but I understand the cause for it. I just drop him for a change in philosophy, not for the same guy who's bringing less experience and leadership to the table.
Nice. 2 and 3, To'o and Critter stay. Unless you guys think there's any changes there.
Oh, Total stays. He's the best
Yeah,
winger in
total
the
stays.
game.
Yeah, I'm curious, like, how would you approach it, Tama? Because it is a dead rubber. Do you think it's a good
What? No
opportunity
critter? Does it
to?
sound like no critter?
Sounds like it.
I
Because
don't
Carlo,
think.
why?
they've lost the series in
Is
2 games,
that
and they got
because
outplayed. So
is it
everyone's
because he ran
positioned
out
up
of
for grabs.
gas when he should have scored?
Oh,
DCE
come
caught
on
him.
now.
Is that why?
DC was catching his breath on the 50-meter line.
Give him
Of
a
course,
break. Give him a
of course,
break.
he was pretty much playing fullback at that point. You
Yeah.
might as well
They've
just.
lost the series already in 2 games, and they got
That was
thoroughly outplayed. So
crucial.
no
That
one's
was
position is safe
crucial.
for New South
For
Wales.
the
There's only
injuries,
a
I think.
handful of guys who played good, and I
If
think To'o's one of the guys who holds.
any
But everyone
Queenslander
else,
back had that ball in the open, that would have been under the post, bro.
This guy's still going.
This
yeah.
is
So,
Origin
Tama,
3, alright. If there's any time they're gonna pick Campbell Graham, it would probably be now.
Oh, what's this guy have to do to get in the team?
Yeah.
It's his own fault. I told you he was fine. He the first game, then said he had a niggly issue. Now he's still got it,
This
but he's
guy's
like,
been
I can
one of
play
the
through
best
it. I'm
centers
like,
for the
come
last
on.
2-3 years, bro. And Freddie's got an issue with him, bro. He's not his favorite. That's why. He's a favoritism guy.
Yeah. If
I
they.
don't think they Crichton actually played that badly. To be fair, across the 2 games.
No.
So I mean, I
Oh,
know that there was a lot of calls
32.
for.
What was the score? He just lost by 30 points. That wasn't too bad, eh?
Yeah, and there were a lot
Okay.
of guys who were far more culpable than Crichton was. So of all the players, I know a lot of people call for Campbell Graham and all these other guys and saying, "Oh, Crichton shouldn't be there." But to his credit, here, I thought he actually was one of the better guys. And
Yeah, you
But
change
Tama,
the team, but
just
for some
interested to get
loyalty.
your thoughts. Which way do you think they should go? Do you think they should go out to try and win Game 3, or should they just blood a whole heap of new guys to try to set it up for next year? Or
I reckon just try and win it. I think next year. I would pick
Oh,
Critter. But
it's got to
I'm
be Critter.
biased.
I'd pick Critter as well. I'd pick
And
Critter as well.
because of Turbo out, it has to be what's his name from the Bunnies. I mean, who else would you put on right center? Katoni, but Katoni's been quiet the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Yes,
I think they would. They will get a. It'll be Critter and Campbell Graham.
Yeah, Matt Burton might come into calculations too. I know he's been 18th man the last couple of games. I wonder if they might try and chuck him in there somewhere. He might be a
I'd just
center
be a little
or
bit
5'8".
concerned with Graham there because is he going to be fast enough to get thing on the outside the hammer?
Well, he's one of the best defensive centers. I think that's the great thing about Campbell Graham.
But speed-wise, on the outside.
Attack is well, it's not just about speed; it's about anticipation as well. So if you know that he's getting the ball outside, you shuffle across. His defense is the reason why you pick Campbell Graham. Is arguably the best defensive center in the game. So that's what's always got him on the rip sides. To his credit, he's got his attack a bit better, but defensively,
minimize
he's a gun,
that
man. He's a gun.
scoreline. Minimize the scoreline. That's the
But I wouldn't mind seeing a couple of other guys like Kaloma Tangi from South on the right edge. He's pretty good. Olukuatu was thereabouts. I reckon like with a dead rubber, I'd start trying to siphon out some of the older guys, not the spine guys per se like Teddy, but some of the peripheral guys like Frizzell. I would be saying Frizzell, sorry, thanks for coming. You've been a great servant. But I want to try some younger guys. So one of those two I'd pick.
Well, what do you think of Hudson Young? Did he do enough to keep his spot?
I don't know if he did enough, but he could be a good player for the future. So you give him game 3, think he'd be better for the next one. You look how much far Cotter's come on and Carrigan and all these guys have benefited from playing those Origin series the last couple of years, and their best footy's ahead of them. And I'll put Hudson Young in that same boat. He'll be better next year for playing this year.
Well, he's not in the same boat. He's in the boat behind us.
Right, but he's
lower.
He's in the boat where he'll be better for having the run next year. He'll play better footy next year for it. So I'd stick it out with him. You've already given him 2 games. You can't just throw him on the bus and just restart that side.
Well, he did that to Nico. What's the difference?
Well, I'd put Nico back in the calculations. I know that Luai will probably get picked.
He's come back.
But, I mean, I reckon we've seen what Luai can do. I want to know. We don't even know if Nico Hines is Origin good enough. He got 12 minutes at centre, which is the worst position for him to play. I'd hate to see him thrown on the scrap heap because you played him out of position for 12 minutes. So we're not even sure if he's an Origin player or not. You got to give him a proper chance.
And where would you give him a proper chance?
I'd probably put him in for Luai. Him or Matt Burden. I'd probably drop Luai.
Okay.
Oh shit! Really? That's a big call.
Yep. Yeah, it is a big call. Luai's been good, but they've lost 2 series in a row. There's got to be someone's got to pay the price for that.
But Luai's played better than Tedesco. Yeah, you're willing to give Tedesco another go.
But Tedesco offers the leadership and other qualities that Luai, I don't think he's got. So that's why I'm keeping Teddy on. If you make raft of changes, someone's got to be a leader. Someone's got to be in charge. Someone's got to hold the fort. And it's got to be Tedesco, like it was with Ben Hunt and all those other guys for Queensland. They purposely didn't make too many changes to the spine. They kept the old guys in the spine, but make changes everywhere else. And I think that's the way forward as well for Queensland.
But you can't constantly keep copying us, bro. That's not the way forward. You guys do your own thing.
It's not copying.
You guys just don't get it.
It's not copying. It's about understanding what works and what doesn't work.
Hey, Tuds,
why would we make changes?
That is a
we want us to make changes to guys that shouldn't be changed.
I think the Blues need to focus on just playing the game and not trying to do this buying into the passion and what Origin's about.
You guys got the best players, man.
Yeah, exactly. Just use your players to play good rugby. Don't worry about.
Don't worry, we got
the passion and worry about the blue.
I agree. I agree. I do think we got the players. I think next year will be better. We need better coaching.
Yes.
So I wonder.
Are you throwing the white flag for game 3?
No. I'd make changes in preparation for next year.
For the future.
I would. Who cares if you win? Who cares if you win game 3?
There's gonna be another.
If you win game 3 and then you have to restart again next year, who cares? It was a waste of time. I'd rather just restart now and prepare for next year. So
your winger, Josh Adokar, after that horrible attempt to punch someone at the end of game 2.
Oh, mate,
you
disgusting. Disgusting. Was he even playing? That's the first time I noticed him.
The man was defending next to Damien Cook, who was playing centre. So I'm not holding him responsible for that. There were so many poor defences, not because of Damien Cook as a poor defender, because he's not used to defending at centre. So it's hard to hold Adokar.
I feel like
there were periods where, if you look at half time, right, they went quite down, but they got 4 tries in that second half, and they just regathered Queensland, and they really targeted Cook. And there's a couple of tries where he held back in the defensive line. We were supposed to rush forward. Things that if you're defended on an edge for long periods.
Well, Freddie,
and there were times where they all jammed in except for Cook, who held back, and it was just. So it's hard for Adokar to be, held responsible when you're defending next to a hooker in the centres. So, I'm not going to hold him to that.
I think you've got to keep him for speed, just to try and have some pace in that back line.
Bro, so you can look at Hammer from behind.
You know what? I brought this up in our group chat, how I thought that left side of New South Wales could really go after that right side. Now, this is obviously before Latrell got taken out and they did Cook in the centres. But they purposely changed Adokar from the right wing to the left wing for that reason. And they had a game plan which obviously didn't play out the way they thought it was going to play out. But they thought they could target that same edge that I mentioned in the chat. So I don't know. I felt like they didn't get an opportunity.
No weak side.
Well, I think everyone says
that right side was the weak side.
Everyone's
the right side
of
Queensland was the weak side.
Saying they didn't make the most of their opportunities. I think they did. They did get the ball out there. They did try and score on us, but Queensland just repelled you guys, bro. Well, our defense was too good.
Going from Latrell Mitchell at left centre to Damien Cook at left centre that's just all the plans gone out the window after that. So, I'm not holding Adokar. I know Adokar copped a lot, but I'll give him another chance because I don't think it was fair that he had to defend next to Cook. So, somebody you want to add anything? I'm getting bombarded here.
Yeah.
He's given up. He's given up.
I was impressed by Mitchell Moses. I think he deserves a recall for Game 3.
Yeah. And I thought that was one of the benefits, sort of the hidden benefits of Dylan Brown, with his hands going a bit haywire there, that he had to step up and be the leader of Parramatta Eels, and it was that form propelled him. And I thought he was good. Just unfortunate. They keep trying to attack through the edges, and that's one thing which I would have changed the style. So I would have put Isaiah Yeo at left centre once Turbo got injured.
Yeah.
He started his career in the centres, and then you could still have Cam Murray playing through the middle.
Isaiah Yeo's been another one. He's been disappointing, in the Origin.
Yeah.
Well,
yes.
To be fair,
the whole attack
there was
Penrith
a lot of
Origin.
No. He sets up like 2-3 plays ahead. It's hard to set up when Tedesco comes in every second play to try and spark an unlikely 70-meter try that he thinks he's going to score. I think,
but it was muddled attack. It was muddled.
Yeah.
Who's calling it? Tedesco trying to do one thing.
That's right. And Moses was like, "Get out of my way!
Give me the ball." But that's a coaching. That's a coaching issue. That's a coaching issue.
I reckon get Madge in there. Madge.
Well, I reckon drop Yale and start Cameron Murray at 13.
I don't know about dropping the best lock in the game.
Well, I wouldn't say he's the best lock. I think Carrigan's shown he's the best lock.
Carrigan, come on.
I just think that
Cam Murray's the best lock in the game.
Yeo has been Gillespie from Carrigan all Origin. The last 3 Origin games, Carrigan's
when Alex Twal, when he scored his try and everyone was cheering for him, he's the top guy now who's had to play the most games without scoring a try. Carrigan. He's hardly scored. I think he only got his first line break only 2-3 weeks ago. So how can you be so the best lock when you're so poor at finishing tries and getting line breaks?
Is that their job to finish tries? Is it the locks? Come on,
Carrigan is just a third prop.
Carrigan was tough.
He ain't the best lock. You can't be the best lock when you've got clear deficiencies at one aspect of your game.
I want to say something about this lock position. Carrigan, he can ball play with the rest of them, but he can say to himself, "All right, mate, I'm going to put this away. I'm going to put this away because
he's not getting any line breaks. He's not getting any tries."
Whereas Yeo's like, New South Wales needed Yeo to just play tough, just run the ball, but no, he wanted to take the ball and be the playmaker, and that's where New South Wales went wrong. They couldn't really adjust around that style.
I think if they played Yeo, this probably wouldn't have made much difference because they got blown out. But if they played Yeo at the centres, because he started off his career playing centres, I think he's played something like 30-something games at the centres. Then you play Cam Murray at lock. So Cam Murray's got the quick play the balls. Then you get Damien Cook to run off the back of it. So they should have tried to attack through the middle more. Once you collapse the middle, that opens up the edges. It doesn't really matter now because it's all hindsight. But
after watching the way Isaiah Yeo ran, I think he would have got burnt badly, more so than what Damien Cook did. So I think he probably.
But I was going to ask, like,
it was the defensive reads which I had an issue with Cook. So they got bombarded in the second half.
Oh yeah, and it was Isaiah Yeo might have read it earlier, but he'll still be.
But do you think Freddie botched it, replacing Cook in centre there?
I do, because then you're forcing Robson on debut to play 80 minutes and go through the middle. Yeah. He was buggered, and and you're taking away one of your main strike weapons, which is Damien Cook's dummy half running once the defenses gets a bit tired. So.
Again,
I thought they could have opened up through the middle. That brings Tedesco into the game with his support play through the middle. Anyway, didn't work.
Any other key changes before we go to your thoughts on the next coach?
I sort of agree with Tama that Isaiah Yeo is up there in terms of the best locks, but I would still give Cam Murray a start at lock because it's just a different style. He's a quicker and he's got that quicker play the ball. And I wonder if they can work off the back of that a bit different. When they did the press conference after game 2, Billy Slater, he gave a lot of credit to Josh Hannay, who was the outside backs coach. So every time that Yeo would get the ball, the outside backs hammer, and that would just jam in because it's always ball playing off him to the halfback. So they'll just jam straight in on the halves. That's why Cleary got shut down in game 1, and he gave a lot of credit to the Josh Hannay, who was coaching the outside backs. So it's great at club level. It always works. They can pinpoint weak guys, but when everyone's good, like in Queensland, and it becomes a little bit predictable. So I'll just try something different. Put Cam Murray at lock. He's not getting enough game time. That's twice he's come in the second half where he's been just not haven't even given a game in the first half at all. So I'll change that.
I'd get Lemieux in there. I think it's one. I'd get Spencer Lemieux in there.
Who for? Who are you going to get out?
I mean, even if it's Bolo or one of the older dudes, I think you need Lemieux in there. I think they just need some mana, some heart.
But I don't think that the problem was the New South Wales forwards. They rolled up field pretty easy. You guys got heaps of ball.
Yeah, you think about that actual game. Yeah, we were
Haas played mean
most of the time, kicking early.
It's just what you do with the ball was the difference.
Yeah.
That's another reason I start Cam Murray, because it's always it's Yo the link man, and once he gets the ball, then the outsides know he's going to ball play at the back, and that's when the outsides started jamming in, which is what Josh Hannay was trying to figure out. So that's at least try something different. And it's nothing against Yo, but it's just that it works great for Penrith they can pick apart the weak defenders. But when everyone's good at Origin level, it doesn't really work as good. So I'm just not sure that it translates well to Origin.
Nice call, nice read. Thoughts on next year's coach then? I'm assuming we're done with Freddie.
I'd rather them make the call and just say you're gone. You're gone. I don't care what you do, because if he's thinking he's going to save his job, then he's going to pick the same guys to try to win it, And then we're going to see the same guys next year, just a year older, you know what I mean? So at least if they say you're gone, then you can say, well, we might as well pick all these guys.
His record's not that bad. It's 3-3.
It depends on how you read the stats. So it's 3-3, or he's lost 3 of the last 4. So if you're on the side that I'm on, where you want him sacked, then I read 3 of the last 4. But yeah, he's lost 3 of the last 4. But
I reckon sack him. I'll get in match. I really rate Michael Maguire, mostly because I watched that West Tigers documentary, and I feel like he'll fire them up, eh? And he's a winner. He's won a premiership. Something Freddie couldn't do.
Where's Madge at the moment? Is he coaching anyone?
Nah.
Just New Zealand.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's a choice.
Yeah, I'd rate Madge. I rate him as a coach. I think.
I wanted Hasler. I wanted Hasler before the Titans jumped in. I'd consider Tuvey maybe.
Oh wow, reaching.
I want someone who understands Origin from a New South Wales perspective. Someone who's not part of club football, because it's hard to do both. But someone who also has coached before. So he ticks all 3 of those boxes that I'm looking for. Yeah, it's pretty slim pickings, which means that they might even give Freddie another go, which would be disastrous.
I reckon it'll be last chance saloon if they do give Freddie another go.
It should be last chance saloon already.
Just burn your jerseys if they give Freddie another go, bro.
Well, what about you guys? You guys making any changes? You guys obviously need a new fullback at least.
I'm not even gonna watch the 3rd game, bro.
It doesn't matter who we got, mate.
See, this is why I didn't want to come on the podcast for the last 2 weeks. These types of comments like that, bro.
Our team is settled. Doesn't matter what the changes.
We gotta need a new fullback. So what, Brimson?
Yep,
yeah, Brimson straight.
Brimson. What's his name? Ponga's come out and said after he got dropped that he was gonna not play for the rest of the series. So I don't know. I think Billy Slater will be loyal to Brimson
after he's seen what's happening at the Knights.
Well, Brimson's been pretty solid at the Titans, so I don't think. I think if it was Decider, then maybe Billy would do the old Hey, Kalen, we need you, mate. But I think, given the fact that we're already 2-0 and going for a sweep, I think we're comfortable with Brimson at the back there, man.
Don't think we'll lose much for
And
them.
we've got some options, bro. We can bring in a centre and put Hammer at the back. Oh, look out if he does get to the back, man. We'll clean up. So, bro, a few options there. I don't know. I think they got some couple of new forwards going to make the team. Horsbrough, definitely.
Who's he coming in for?
Well, looks like Fledger is going to be out.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's got a foot injury, so they definitely need a new prop.
Cool. Any all right, let's final predictions for game 3. Let's go to you first, Tama.
I think New South Wales will win, and it doesn't matter because the series is over. But I think they'll win, and that's it. I don't know how much. I think they'll get over the line, and it'll be a good way to send Teddy off into the sunset, as well as Freddie. Teddy and Freddie go out on a win.
Freddie's farewell.
Yeah.
Stace, how you seeing game 3 playing out, man?
I hope that they make mass changes and that they build for next year. So I think that New South Wales will lose, but they'll win the series next year on the back of building now.
All right, so game 3.
Also, I think my prediction is going to be. Normally, we have that Thursday podcast just to wrap up the game. My prediction that we won't hear from Tama or Stacey on that next podcast. That's my
prediction. A few empty seats in the studio again.
That's all I got to say about that.